So I'm decided to go live today. I was like, you know what? Have this set. Obviously, I like to hold these things for like Saturdays, etc. But I just finished up that Lunar Bricks thing. We've been snowed in. We have not been able to. Well, let me rephrase that. We have been iced in. So we have not been able to get out and go do anything. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to. I ordered some new sets on Ali, and I've got another one coming that's on the TikTok shop, and some other things that are coming in the mail from the Rainforest site. And I was like, you know what? Let me let me at least get something built today. Now, this was one of those that I got on the Rainforest site. It was I had my fingers crossed the whole time. I was like, oh, please be standard brick size. Absolutely is not. It is what you would think of in every sort of possible way. The worst size, it's not even like the micro bricks. It is kind of an in between. It's probably a good 30% less of the normal size. And I'll bring out a leaf here in a minute and show you the difference between the two. It is downright amazing. It's definitely one of those. Let me get this up real quick. It's definitely one of those where it was like I was really hoping, and just praying and hoping that hey, this is a standard size. Now, there is some positive outcome with this building set. And granted, I'm going to tell you, I only spent, I think it was $12 on this. So it was like one of those, it's like, hey, you know what? The booklet might be worth more than I'm putting into it. And here is my reason why. Let's see. My reasoning is this. Okay. Granted, this is micro built set. It's small. The parts are not going to line up with everything else. But at the same time, we've got this book, and there's a lot of this that sizing and stuff that we have is pretty standard to regular bricks. And there's a part of me that thinks I might be able to, in some ways, rebuild this in regular bricks over time. It's just one of those I had to kind of go through, see what I have. And there might be some things I want to cut out that maybe I don't need and or want. Some things that I think I could use. But it's all going to be this kind of like, hey, we've got this. We'll see how it works. I'll hold on to the book. This will probably end up going on a shelf, honestly. It cannot be incorporated into anything else. Hey, Brick Dad, how are you? So I got Brick Dad on. So with that being said, okay, yes, we're going to build this. Yes, it's micro bricks. Yes, I'm not getting rid of it. But I will definitely be putting it up somewhere for me to kind of enjoy. And I debated on whether I wanted to have the hi boys. I debated on whether I wanted to actually have the stickers on there or not. And I will probably go ahead and do it just because, gentlemen, what are you doing? Goodbye. Hi. Bye. I will probably end up doing the stickers on there. And when I get ready to make my own street signs, things like that, I'll find something different. I'll maybe print my own or do whatever. It doesn't have to be specific to that. But it is one of those where I'm like, you know, what do I want to get out of this? It does have a light kit. The light kit is a button cell battery, so it's off as it is. But you know what? I figured we'll get into this. We'll open it up. We'll check it out. We'll see how it works. Now, this is, of course, Yes Bricks. It does apparently come with a minifig. Not quite sure how that's going to work, but, you know, you've got a teeny tiny minifig in there. There was someone who was selling, it was like, I think the Pier was from the Lego Ideas, but it was the mini brick version, kind of pirated from them. It was a mini brick setup that they were selling for $7. And of course I reached out, I was like, hey, do you have all the parts? And like, I put it together with my kid. The parts are so small, I don't even know if they would fit. So I think that's kind of where we're at when we're dealing with micro. These things won't resell. I have a feeling they are probably an absolute pain to put together and or put back together. So it's one of those, once it's built, that'll probably be it. All right. Now looking at this, there's no bag numbers. Absolutely no bag numbers. So the technique we're going to use today, we're going to pull several bins. The book is gigantic, by the way. It's a big, big book. I don't know why. I don't know why it's such a big book, but it is a big book. For what reason, we don't know. It says bag 1, so it does say that there are bag numbers here. Oh, my goodness. All right, so this is 6032.4. This is leaves, electronics, and some stickers. We got 603221. 1.4. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, 2.7. So I'm sensing a 2.5, 2.2, 1.3, 1.2, 3.2, 1.1, we'll need that, 2.6, 3.1, and 2.3. Okay, I think I figured it out. Everybody. So what it is that they are going based off a system. So we've got 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.6, 2.2, 2.5, and then a 2.7. So there's 7 bags for what was considered bag 2. There's 2 bags for what's considered bag 3. We've got some extras here, which I'll just throw up there. And then it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 bags for bag 1. Quite a bit. And what we'll do is we'll open up one of these so you can see the difference between the sizes. Again, this was one I had hoped and hoped and hoped and hoped and hoped. I was like, please be a regular size. Unfortunately, it was not. We're going to put small parts on one side, and then we'll put plates and bigger things on the other. Oh, let's see. All right, here we go. So how is everybody today? Hola, how are you? Hopefully you all are doing good. Staying warm with the cold weather that's coming in. All right, here we go. I'm going to kind of show you right here. This is the leaf from the set. This is a standard Lego leaf here. I mean, you could peg it. You can't even peg it into the normal things. But looking at the size, it is, I think, a third or 2/3 of a normal size. It's like one of those, it's like, why couldn't we just gotten it a little bit bigger? That would have been nice to have it just a little bit bigger. Now, I probably could, in theory, I kind of wonder. I'm going to check something real quick. Because, no, it does not work. Okay, I was going to say, if there was a way to peg these leaves right here onto, hey, think I'd say, there's a way to peg these leaves onto other existing leaves. I could have like smaller leaves. It's not going to work. It's not. And even like looking at the brick separator. Okay, so here, let's take a moment to look at this. This is our normal brick separator, right? And this is what we're getting in our set. So you can tell there is an obviously vast difference in size. And what we're building is this Yes Bricks. It's a pier, but it is many, many blocks. And I'll show the people on TikTok one more time. So this is a standard. This is a 4x3 leaf from Lego, and then this is our block size that we're working with today. So it is teeny tiny. This set actually won't really go with anything else. It'll be kind of on its own. It's definitely going to be one of those that it's going to go up on a shelf, look nice, kind of keep it as that. As a matter of fact, I could put this brick thing up over there. But plates over here. Yeah, let me grab all the plates over here and move them over. We'll keep plates and bricks on one side, tiles, everything else on the other, except for the 1x1s. Those will. Oh my goodness! Right off the bat, we almost lost a piece. And these things are small. They are very, very small. Vastly small. But, again, the idea is that not necessarily what we are getting out of it. It's the fact that the book, because I spent $12 on it, so it's not anything crazy. I'm not as concerned about what I'm getting out of it, but I will say this. The book could lead to a really good build down the way. Oh, hey, thank you for the ice cream cone, the rose, and the corn. Man, you all treat me too good. So, Thikonse's on here with me. She's a new builder in our group. She was on the other day, on Saturday, and she was getting a minifig made. So, I had reached out, so they have a minifig creator on Lego. I kind of get them to see if I can get. So, I made this one. It's got a lanyard, it has Tay on it, and it's got TayRay on the back. They wouldn't let me do gun on there for my full name, but that's my minifig. Now, unfortunately, they don't have a lot of options on skin tone, on face types, on hair. So there was a lot that's like I wanted to add more to them, couldn't. But the printed body, I think, was kind of where I was looking, and that's one of those that it's a the printed body. I had to go white for the sweater because the other prints would have made the sweater look like blue or purple, or but the arms wouldn't have changed. And I think that was kind of a thing that's like I don't necessarily care much for that. But I did find that there's a company called Minifigme, I believe, that I was looking into, that apparently they do minifig builds as well. So I might look into them, maybe switch up some of the figures between one and the other, kind of see if we can't get some cool minifigs. I'm all about the minifigs. Okay, so we've got these. I'm looking here. I might have to. Oh, these are teeny tiny. Teeny tiny. I almost feel like I need a magnifying glass for this at this point. I mean, my eyesight's already pretty bad as it is. Okay, and that's supposed to line up. Bottom one, third down. Okay, clutch power from one giant plate to another giant plate is usually not the best. We'll go ahead and we'll try that. I'll go ahead and pin it. There we go. Yeah, the clutch power between if you have one big plate and another plate and you've got most of these coming together, that tends to pull the plates. So it can be kind of disastrous. So already out of the gate, I'm like, I'm not too keen on this. I think if I was to build this in regular, I would break it up. Break it up over multiple steps. Multiple steps. At the minimum. Just because, or like, I say multiple steps, like multiple plates. So have, smaller plates, pad them out, make them not all together so quickly, so much together at once. 6 and 6 is 12. And then one more of the 8x16s. So let's see, 4, 4, 4, and 4. And then 4 and 4, that's 8. So, alright, this one, it looks like we're going to be going right here. This should be going right up here, and then this is going to fit right into here. And then we've got one more building out on the other end here. Okay, so 8x16s. Pretty cool. Again, they're using, standardized, well, okay, let me rephrase that. They're using parts that you would normally find. 8x16 plates you would find. These are tiny. But the idea is that whatever they're building here could, in theory, translate into larger bricks down the road. So this book for me is kind of like gold. Gold. Gold! I love it. So we've got 8x10s, 5 and 5, or no, 4x10s, 2 of them, a 1x10, and then let's see here, we've got, nope, it should be over here. These bricks and these plates are definitely going to test my mental capacity as far as like me being able to build. Like, look, this is a teeny tiny 1x4. That is super small, and we're used to having 1x4s that are much bigger, like much bigger. Here, let's see if I've got a 1x4 up here. I've got a, look, I've got a, this is a 2x4. Look, that's a 2x4 tile. It's a modified tile, but look at the size between the two. This is much, much smaller. Again, almost a third of the size. So, very, very, very small. Probably not that delicate, but this would definitely be something that, this is going to end up on a shelf. I'm going to enjoy it on a shelf. Alright, so it looks like that's lined up there. I'm not sure about this. That's kind of awkward. But that goes up on the top. We got a 1x4 that drops right here. This is supposed to go over. And that's going to go right across here. Okay. So, clutch power on these, it's a lot. Hey, Poppet, what's up? Got another flash goal. It keeps... Go ahead and do it. Oh, it's still going. As much as, like, people have asked about, my opinions on things in the brick building community, because that's, kind of what I know. That sort of stuff, I could talk about brick building, I could talk about plates and design, and I could talk about that all day long. But when it comes to understanding what flash goals and things like that are for the TikTok, I get flustered, absolutely flustered. I not that I have anxiety about it, but there's a lot of it that I don't understand. I don't understand the business sense of it. So I've gotten multiple offers for doing like the what is it, TikTok influencer program. There's some other things that they've asked. So I was like, hey, I think that might be actually kind of cool to do. But when I was going through and looking at it, I'm like, I'm not sure exactly what they're asking of me. So it's stuff that I had to sit and actually take my time reading and understand what it is that I would be doing. But it's something I have definitely thought about. Kind of up my game. Right now, with everything going on with the 50% of the company trading hands, it has been kind of interesting. My algorithm has been very interesting. I went, because normally, I go in, I'll search things, and they had a brand new thing. It was like, earn, this for searching this. So I was like, okay, well, it's basically a $3 voucher. I'll do it. Not that big of a deal. Let's search it, get the algorithm back up and running, because obviously they have lost what I was doing on my algorithm. So it's like, hey, let me get in there. Let's do some searches. So that way they can figure out like what it is I search and look for. Because they were offering all sorts of wackadoodle things. I had TikTok dances, which I guess I'm not opposed to TikTok dances, but that's not something I normally go out of my way to view. So I was very confused. I was like, what exactly am I looking at here? So hopefully they've got things back up and running here pretty soon that makes sense for us. Okay, so I'm looking right here. Looks like I'm going 2 tiles down. Interestingly enough, they don't have a lot of these plates one going over the other. Instead, it's all kind of like just shoehorned in there. Now we're creating a sense of waves and some ocean, which is nice. Hey Gabe, how are you? I mean, that part looks nice, but at the same time, it doesn't offer like, unfortunately, let me go back. They do have tiles going one over the other. Okay. So this is going up 1. This is going up 1. Okay. Now it's going 2 tiles down. Am I correct on this? Yes. And this is going 2 tiles down here. Hey, low budget, how are you? This is definitely something, the micro bricks, like I said, we have, I think it's 3 bags worth of stuff, right? So we've got this 1 bag, and then we've got a secondary bag, and then we've got a, hey, thank you for the heart, Gabe, or the rose, and then we've got a 3rd bag. And there's a part of me that's thinking, after this bit of bag, we might have to come back and do like the next bag, because size wise it's definitely going to set my patience as far as seeing. All right, so for those who are just now getting on, we are looking at the Yes Brick. It is a micro brick, or not even micro, it's a mini brick. And I say that, let me get out my example here. Ooh. So I've got a standard 4x3 leaf from Lego, and then this is the size that we're working in here, and it's going to be, I think this is like 2/3 the size. Yeah, it does look like a really neat set. The one thing that I'm kind of looking at is that build wise for the set, the instructions read like if it was normal size bricks. A lot of the stuff that we're working in is something that I couldn't find. It's not anything I wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. So with that being said, I might actually try to translate this one day into major bricks. But I also have like a modular book coming in. There's some other things that I've been wanting to build that are kind of out of the realm of just a set. You know, I want to be able to go buy just a whole mass of plates and bricks from my minifig store, buy a bunch of them, sort them, figure it out, and start doing some custom builds of my own. So I'm going to keep this book because I have a feeling this book will probably be used for me translating this into larger bricks down the road. It is, so the set, it's called, here, actually, I'll pull it up here. It's called Yes Bricks. And they are micro bricks. They are miniature bricks. Let's see if I can't set that there. That might help you. So it's got a lot of teeny tiny bricks here. I'm going to adjust that right here. There we go. That should give us a little bit more. Thank you for the likes, everybody. I appreciate that. All right. So with that, I went ahead. That brick separator is tiny, by the way. I went ahead. I got my pliers as well, just in case. But we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 2 of these. A 1x3, and then it looks like a 2x4. There we go. A 2x4. Okay. And then we got to figure this one out because this one is interesting. What they're doing, and for the plate work at the beginning, it usually feels interesting. Doesn't even feel like the word for this in some ways. It's there, but it's not quite there. That's teeny tiny looking clip. All right, that lines up there. This is to line up. Okay, this lines up here on this. I might have to break it into parts. That goes here. This is to line up here. Okay. That lines up here. And this is, I think, to line up here. Okay. This set would have probably done good to have a backwards, like an underside view of what we're putting together. I think that would have been best. But again, I spent $12 on this. I'm not expecting at this point too much. Now they do have us shoehorning this in together, so that one goes in here. This one presses to there, and the clutch power of these are pretty good. It's not wanting to break apart, which is nice. I didn't see your name, Toffee for Life. Man, I love toffee. Coffee as well. I actually probably could use more coffee today. I didn't grab any. I was thinking about it, but I didn't grab any. I think at this point I've probably been caffeinated enough today because we're kind of stuck in the house. We're stuck at home. And I have been making pot after pot after pot after pot of coffee. So, and I think my wife brewed another thing of coffee. And I'm like, yeah, there's going to come a point when I just start shaking. And I'm like, maybe that's not the thing for me to do, is to have any more coffee. But I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, I know that your name has nothing to do with coffee. I know it doesn't. I know it's Toffee for Life, but I had coffee one time that actually had a toffee mix in it. I believe it was it might be one of our local HEB brands. It's like a Texas thing, right? And they have like Santa Fe mix, and they have, San Antonio mix, they have Hub City, etc. And I believe one of them actually has, it might be a toffee version in there, which just sounds downright amazing. Toffee and coffee together, just that makes my tummy happy. If that sounds like the right thing to say. It sounds awkward to say it, I know there's a part where, people are going to be like, this man is very strange. But, man, toffee and coffee. It just sounds like, one of those match made in heaven sort of things. Like we couldn't have asked for a better thing. Toffee, coffee, put it together. Let's have it. All right. This is going right up in here. And we're going to set that here. Boom. Surprisingly, if this was going to be made in Lego form, you're looking at the set, like the base plates would probably be about yay big. That would take up more than a Mills plate. As a matter of fact, let's do our count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. It would be a little bit over a Mills plate. Technically, what I would probably do is I'd probably drop the blue and just stick with the tan and actually plate it. But, and that's something that, again, down the road I can do. But for right now, building it, just trying to think through the idea of, hey, if this were a set that I was translating into an actual Lego set, what size would I be looking at? And you're looking at 10 to 11 inches out one way and up probably a pretty good distance. I could imagine it would be fairly large. Now, I know low budget, you have done a micro set. You did one recently. And I believe you were saying the thing that was nerving was the getting the pieces in for the dexterity of hands and stuff. It's small. Finding parts can be small too. Thankfully for this set, they have those bags numbered. Because I could imagine this would be, if it was all nothing but parts thrown into one bag, it would be nightmare fuel for you. Thankfully, Bricks has has done enough that they have separated that stuff and made, I guess, that portion of life just a bit easier for what we're working on, which is nice. Okay, now, I do believe there is a miscount somewhere on these. I found it. So I have one 1x2. I need to go 1x2, but make it actually down. Then plate this one up, and then I have room for this 1x3 here on the end. It was off by one badge. That was it, just one badge. Just one. I'm sorry, one stud. I'm looking. It's got badges. It's like, you've got badges here, but it's one stud. One stud off. Obviously, I had done something wrong. Okay. Now, we're over here. Now, interesting, this book gives you a ton of plates at one time. Normally, I would say that that's very confusing. It's not, well written in the directions, that if you give too many people too many steps at one time, it's aggravating, etc., etc. But this, again, plate-wise, for what we're doing, starting off, this has not been bad. Not been bad at all. Would I recommend this to anyone? I would say, if you are kind of a veteran at building and it's something you want to challenge, this would definitely be a challenge. But I think out of the gate, if I was starting this and I was just getting into building, I might actually stop before I'm ahead. And I kind of wonder if that's what happened with the set that I saw on the Facey book. Hey, I heard you're all free of duties again tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't gotten that info just yet. So it's like one of those I'm kind of waiting to find out. But I figured, today I've been off. I was like, you know what? I figured I'll come in and I'll build today. Have you been talking to your aunt, Miss B, finding out what the hap is? Yeah, I have not gotten the word, so I'm definitely not one to ask because I have no idea. And I tend to stay. Yeah, your aunt. Yeah, I tend to stay in the area of not knowing really anything that's going on, just because I'm so flighty in my thought half the time that it's like I wouldn't even know where to begin on certain things when if it had been a situation where my life was on the line, I wouldn't know because I get so caught up in other things I don't always pay attention. Okay, here we go. So we've got this. So we got one area. Now this is supposed to be actually clutched down. Uh oh, yeah, I mean, quite possibly. Quite possibly. I mean, honestly, I'd be willing for a day. I don't want to lose. I think for me, I don't want to lose all of our time, but I also understand like where they're coming from, especially with because a lot of our kids. So, for those who don't know, I'm actually talking to Pudgy Bear, and Pudgy Bear is the niece of one of my good friends at the school I work at, and we've been out because we had a huge storm come through over last weekend, and it's been iced up everywhere over here. And I mean, to the point like my wife and I, we were looking at getting our cars out, and our wheels are actually chucked in ice right now. Like they are wrapped up, and the ice is going through the wheel wells into the brake pads and to the tires onto the concrete, and we're trying to get all of that thawed. So we were out yesterday trying to clip like the ice off the sidewalk and everything. And interestingly enough, I mean, keep in mind we're in Texas, so it's one of those that's like, yeah, everything's bigger in Texas, and that, yeah, we're bigger complainers more than anything else when it comes to certain things. But infrastructure wise, and for what the money for our county is put towards, we don't have enough ice storms come through that it's kind of hard to justify in a budget to put a lot of money towards it when it's like, well, what is it worth to us? Is it worth having a few days off and not doing anything, or is it worth us putting this amount of money on taxes to say that we got to do this and this? So it's like it's one of those situations where I understand where they're coming from on closing things down. Now it's aggravating because then that means that our streets are bad and can't really go anywhere. My kid, he has had a friend over since the storm began. And I say that because they have been with me, attached to my side most of the time. Every time that I have walked to Dollar General. So that was the one place I knew that was open, that was kind of a safe walk to do, right? So we have walked to Dollar General multiple times throughout the week to get stuff. Dollar General has gotten a ton of my money, including some brick sets that I got there, because I was like, hey, why not? Like it's here. It looks like a pretty decent set, and this one, I'll grab this one and I'll play, and at least make something of it. And it has been good on certain levels of build, but at the same time, I know there's a lot of people that are, we're ready to get back in the classroom. And I think my wife, she's ready to get back in the classroom because they have testing that they got to start getting ready for. So that's their biggest thing, is they really need to get back in to make sure they got testing covered. Hey Kobe, how are you? But I mean, having the school open for one day does sound, it's like one of those situations where it's like, well, why would we, I guess we could do this, but then it's like, we can't ask for people to come in on the weekend, and it's just it's a mess. So it's one of those, if they were to close it for another day, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be angry about it. I guess that part doesn't bother me. It's just, I know that we have makeup days coming up, and I think that's the part where I'm like, what is it going to cost us in the long run? What are we going to have to pretty much just like pay back? Like, what are we getting out of it? Or how are we going to be getting those days back? Because there's a certain amount of hours they're supposed to work, unless the governor, and we would hope that he would forgive the days and not make a big deal about it. But I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. That's usually not the case. All right, so we're going to go 4 down. 1, 2, here. I actually need these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to go right here. That leaves 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then this goes right on the end. Again, it's definitely going to test my mantle on where I'm seeing things go. I hope he does. I would hope that, considering the last time we had a storm like this, that was, I think it was like, what, 2015 or something. I'm trying to remember exactly when. The last time we had a big storm like this, it did get forgiven because we were iced in for, oh wow, I mean, it was a week. We did not have that option to get out. And so I think that that's the smart thing to do. Hey, we can forgive it. There's things that obviously we can't control, and we should probably be looking at a way to say, hey, all right, let's make up for it by making sure that we're having quality content or this or that, and we'll just kind of forgive it. Our couple of days of bad weather days obviously are gone, but hey Chris, what's up? Just one more just one more brick, please. How are you doing today? So I'm hoping, I saw that you had left a comment on the video of that parking garage. That parking garage was a most excellent build. I have that one out in the living room right now. That's the one that I was playing with, and the 6 stud wide cars just look amazing in that parking garage. And it's definitely one of those I would suggest anyone, if that's something that you're looking at build wise, get it. It is well worth it. It was a fun build, and I think I did that one because I did each row as a live. At the time, I can't remember. I think it was just recorded. It might have gone live on the YT. I can't remember, but yeah, I've got each one of the levels built, and they are incredible. They're really good. Well, thank you so much. It was stellar. I appreciate that. I have been, so interestingly enough, I've got, on my dad's side of the family, I never got to meet him, but on my dad's side of the family, I have, my grandfather was a radio DJ out of Arkansas. And so he did radio stuff. And so I don't remember how I fell into it, but I fell into doing podcasting with my friend for a while, and we would talk about toys and just random things, and we did that for 10 years. So we have a backing in a lot of media stuff, and I went to school for a lot of it. Love it. Finally got to build my Pirates pub, and I'm afraid no other build will bring me the same amount of joy. That's That's how I felt after I finished the Luma Bricks, the skate shop. I enjoyed that skate shop so much. Like I really, it's one of those that I just appreciated that build so much that it's been hard for me to get the same kind of feel. I mean, I still enjoy builds. Don't get me wrong, but that build was, it was so excellent, such an excellent build that it you're right. It's hard to get that same feeling back after you have built something else. Okay, I'm gonna put this flame up here. Now it says, "Whoops." Honestly, I could listen to you talk about anything all day. Oh well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna find. We're making a tiki torch. Looks like. Yeah. No, I have done many years podcasting stuff, and I've got stories out the wazoo. I actually sent in a story to the minifig club. So I'm in a group called the minifig club, and you can see it right there, the minifig club, and I get like a monthly package from them. It's a paid service, but I get a monthly package from them of just minifigs, and we have, secret minifigs that we can add on to our packs and all this. We could purchase extras, and it's just like Lego minifigs, and we tell stories, and we could possibly win minifigs and all this other stuff. Well, I actually told the story about when I was out in the Gulf, scuba diving with my dad, because it was like, what's your favorite sea creature and all that, and one of my favorite creatures, including like the car, was it's a barracuda. And they're wild creatures, I mean, they feed on small fish, and you'd never hear anyone talking about like a barracuda attack, or anything like that would cause issues. But they are, they've got, what was it, like 2-inch teeth. They're just canines, both top and bottom. They can be very ferocious. And I got pulled through a school of them one time. It was wild. Let's see. It's such a phenomenal set. Yeah, the pirate. Hold on, I need to go back and see what that set was. The Pirates Pub. I'll have to go to your page because I want to see what that. Have you been posting about the Pirates Pub? Because I'd like to see what it looks like. I don't. It seems like I'm drawing a blank on what it looks like. Hey, thank you for the roses, by the way. I'm drawing an absolute blank on what the Pirates Pub looks like, but I bet it's one of those, if I go to it, I'll probably recognize it and be like, that's what it is. What's the company that built it, or that makes it? Maybe that might jar up my memory a little bit. So we do have right here multiple different colors of tiles. So let me grab all of our color tiles here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Looks like we have, oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3. Do we have a brown one? Now, I will admit the color work on this is to be desired for sure. About to post a video, just struggling to come up with the perfect caption for it. Oh, fantasy. Okay, yeah, fantasy sets are amazing. They're like, you forgot your fantasy minifig. I'm like, I actually don't have any fantasy minifigs yet. It's one that I need to get it. I need to get a fantasy set. Even was it Nurse Brick was even trying to. She was like, you should get the claw machine set. You should get this. I was like, yeah. It's like I would. Me personally, if I was gonna get a fantasy set, except the bobbleheads, yeah. Well, they just put out, I think it was some Garfield sets that I thought were pretty cool too. But I think for me personally, if I was going to get a fantasy set, I think I would want the it's gray is what I'm missing. Oh my goodness. I would want the gold mine, the Old West gold mine one. I think that one, it's got like the conveyor belt and all that. Like that one to me is just a good looking set. Or the architecture firm. Now that one is that the designer Jang is the one who designed that one. For me, that would be a marvelous build because that would just allow me to like just revel and just like bask in the design that he created. And I'm a big fan of the stuff that he's done with Lego and the modulars in the past, and even other stuff that he's designed and done. So for me, I think that would be amazing. I love like designers design work, that sort of thing. I'm actually I have a piece. It's a Herrera box, who is another designer that he does vinyl toys. I'm actually about to sell one of his pieces. They have an amazing pie and olive oil set. Oh, that would be cool. We don't hear enough about pie anymore. That's kind of a sad feat, you know. Like growing up, pie was just such an iconic thing. Like I would see it all the time, and I believe it. I'm trying to remember who it was that played pie in one of the movies. I know Shelley Duvall played Olive Oil, but I remember that being a big thing growing up. Robin Williams, that's right, man. Robin Williams, wow. You talk about not untapped, but just amazing ability to bring some characters to life. Sadly though, he is not around with us today. And that's very upsetting. I mean, it's definitely someone I would have loved to have gotten to meet. I think he would have been a very cool person to get to see. All right, so it looks like we had two of these, 1 and 2. Give me a minute. I'm having to look at something real quick. So I think it's 2 tans. All right. I will admit, color-wise on these, figuring out the color scheme for what they're calling tan and for what they're calling a sage is a little, it's in a rough area that doesn't make the build feel very, how do I put it? It has slowed me down on some of what I'm doing because I keep looking to see, have I got the right piece in the right area? It looks like this one's going here. I can understand now why. I saw someone that was building this and they had done a video and I'd asked about some stuff and they, some things about the build itself. I was trying to find out if it was, standard size or not, which I find out actually by the time they got to me, I'd already found out that no, they are not standard size at all. But I will admit that looking at it, I can see why they opted to not go live with it, and then why there's so many edits and gaps where they have missing time in the build because of trying to figure out the color schemes or trying to figure out like where this one item goes in relationship to here, because stud count wise it's not as like, I guess you would say, as it's not as apparent as it is in other sets. Okay, that one goes there, this one goes here, and then we've got a teeny tiny chicken. The absolute smallest chicken I think I've seen. This bar will have a chicken in it, and it's actually they're doing, it's not illegal build, but they're doing the in between stud technique of pressing it in, which is very interesting. Very interesting. There's a part of me that kind of wants to save this for my own like billboard, but at the same time, I think I would just, I don't know. I know Brickcraft, or no, Brick Loot has some billboards, and I have thought about getting a few of their billboards. Now they're actually on the TikTok shop, and so I should actually get some of those, kind of review them, check them out, and see, like kind of play around with them, see if I can't put some in the city and see what they do. Okay, we got our stud to stud 1x1 plate with 3 leaves right here, but it's small, teeny tiny, way too small for me to drop on the floor. If I was to drop anything on the floor, I would absolutely cry at this point, because I do believe that would be game over for us for a lot of what we're dealing with right now, because they are small, absolutely small. Now we are making some teeny tiny mushrooms. So we've got mushrooms out here. We've got, chickens. I'm not sure where this bar is, this pier bar, but I mean, I'll take it. I think it'd be cool to build something similar to this in regular size to put up with the harbor. I actually need to get back to building that harbor here pretty soon. But yeah, this is interesting, quite interesting for the build. I did order some of these in standard size. I think that would be great for building. And I got a new kind of train coming in. Got it off the AliEx. And also got some more tracks. So I do plan on building some fun things as far as like the tracks and stuff go. But again, I always like to build it as is first. See how it is, review it, that sort of thing. Let people know, is it good, is it not good, should just save your money or not. And then I like to mod it. And I gotta tell you, that parking garage, that was a fun one to mod. I had so much fun last night. After I reviewed it and got it up, I was like, take it apart, devouring pieces out, rebuilding some things. I absolutely enjoyed it. It was great. I took all the decorations off the side, I pulled off the parts, and I started dividing them into 4s. What do I have that's 4 of each? Because there's 4 levels to the garage, and I just found this quintessential, just quaint design that would allow me to do all 4 sides in the absolute same. Still looked like it was technologically driven, looked like it had some sort of purpose to it, maybe AC or door holders, things like that, and it worked so beautifully, and I absolutely enjoyed having that. Brick Trucker, how are you? Hold on, I'm waiting. Did you do a thing? Always have to ask at this point, because these days you get on, you're like, I did a thing. I'm like, oh my goodness, what did you do? What did you do, my man? Sort of. If it makes you feel any better, I did a thing too. On the AliEx, someone had, it was I don't know what it is about me right now with trains and trams, but I ended up getting it would have been an $80 3-cart blue futuristic looking train with a station and about 18 pieces of track. And so I'll be waiting on that to come in. I have some other track coming on the way too. I ordered the Lego brand Sherpa throw blanket. That's cool. I like that. I'd love to see a Back to the Future train time machine. That would be amazing. Here's the thing, and this is something that I know we've talked about before. Like, the idea of them doing more of the Back to the Future stuff now that they have the license just makes sense to me. However, I'm afraid right now that Lego is absolutely terrified. They're shaking in their boots that they would not make any money off that license. So I have a feeling that they're not going to be putting quite so much time and effort into some of the stuff. Honestly, I gotta tell you, the way that the custom minifigs have been going, as far as like selling and people buying and buying and buying them, I'm actually quite surprised that they wouldn't do a Back to the Future um, minifig run. Let's see. Looks like I missed something. Oh, you got. Thank you for the love you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, please. Yeah, I mean, it's. I have. I mentioned it with Infinity Builder, and he's got ties with them. Mentioned it with him. We were talking about it on one of his things on the big YT, and I've talked about it there. I've made posts of it. I've tagged them in the post. I've been like, hey, rear your Danish head this way, and look, we're asking for it. But I don't know if they just. I don't feel like they feel that there's enough behind it that it would be profitable. And right now, I think they're swimming in disaster zone, quite possibly with some of these smart bricks. Not quite sure how that's going to work out for them. Yes, incredibly much on the ropes, and there's even more coming out. So Yumco has got some really good stuff. Brickcraft and a Fantasy. So Fantasy, it reared its beautifully alternate brick head towards them the other day, and it was like, hey, guess what? We're going to get in the affordable sets with a license group, and we're going to make Garfield. And they've already started putting some of the sets out, and they look incredible. They look great, and they're themed really well. And the sets are only like $17. Oh, Lego, you gotta start listening. When people are saying, hey, we want to make sure that we have affordable sets that we can afford and love because they are high quality, because they're your brand, and we want to be able to love these things and build them with you in mind, but you're gonna have to make things affordable. And the fact that it doesn't seem like they're listening is very concerning. Very concerning. Yes, and okay, so hold on. Smart bricks. Yeah, it's not very good. I mean, okay. News wise, they did announce all of the Star Wars sets that came out, right? And I'm gonna get to the Oscorp Tower and the JM Bricklayer in a minute. The thing is that the sets that they're putting out, I mean, not bad, but what they didn't make quite as apparent that a lot of people I don't think are really watching is the fact that they put out a Millennium Falcon set that's a much smaller set than, obviously not the UCS, and obviously not the like Dark Falcon size, right? It's much smaller. It's an okay build, but then you have gaps in it where there's supposed to be smart bricks. Hey, Star Wars Freddy. The problem is this. They don't come with smart bricks. So you're spending $100 on this Falcon. You've got tiles and red paddles and things that are meant for the smart brick, but you're spending $100 and there's no smart brick. The only way to get the smart brick is either getting the X-Wing, the Darth Vader Advanced TIE Fighter, or the Throne Room on launch at the beginning. And those are your 3 smart bricks. The Falcon uses 2 smart bricks in its one build. I guess you can move one smart brick here, move it to the back, etc. But it's like, okay, if I wanted to play with the play features of this smart brick, and I have a Falcon that takes 2 bricks, and I have one where I turn a switch in the back to make the lights shine up on the back of the exhaust, and then I've got one that's supposed to be like the cannons and the flyby sound. Okay. But now it's like, hey, I want my X-Wing to fly with it. Well, I'm going to take a brick out, put it in the X-Wing, and then do that. The fact that they don't have the smart bricks with some of these particular sets, including the Falcon, that's one of those things that just would make sense. You would want a smart brick with the Falcon. As of right now, unless you buy all three sets, you have no bricks or no smart bricks. You'd have to buy all three sets to utilize it in as many builds as you can. But the problem is that you have, what was it? You had the ATST, you had the Luke's land speeder, you had Yoda's hut, you had the Yoda's hut, you had the Millennium Falcon, and there was something else. Oh, the dewback with Mos Eisley. That's 5 sets. 5 sets, and then you have 3 sets. So that means out of all the sets, you would have 3 smart bricks total for 8 sets, including like just the Ewok set with the ATST. The Chicken Walker uses a brick. The speeder uses a brick. That's 2 bricks in use at one particular time. So it makes it kind of like how what are they wanting out of this for the kids to be able to afford and love and do? And some of the paddles and things, just they look kind of unsightly. So I want to go back. The Oscorp Tower is amazing, by the way that they put that together. So I've been following Infinity Builder as he's been putting that one together, and I am an absolute love. That thing is gorgeous. I think it's worth every single penny that's been poured into that one. That's an incredible set, and that thing is like 3 feet tall. It is ginormous. It's probably one of the biggest sets I think I've seen in a very long time, and it looks amazing. Yeah, Yumko is definitely kind of like running a gambit against kind of against what Lego's doing right now, and they're really pushing the AFOL licensing and getting like the adult fans in there and kind of getting them sets that they're really going to enjoy. It's definitely becoming an area where it's like, hey, adult builders are enjoying this and they're doing this. They're getting the engineering side of things done, and now they're starting to open up, it seems like, some design courses for some people that are interested in it. So I'm definitely excited about what the alternate brands are doing for the AFOL community. The JM Bricklayer, yeah, I've heard pretty good things about the JM Bricklayer. I know that some of their builds look really good. I have yet to buy any. I've come across some on the Big Rainforest site. I need to grab one because I want to be able to sit down, put it together, and really enjoy and kind of see what's their clutch power like, what are their build techniques like, what are we getting out of this. So it's something I'd love to have on the table to try out. And I just recently got some Slubon. It's been okay, but Slubon, there's oh my goodness, I'll think of a few other. Again, I got some off of AliEx, and I'm waiting on those to come in. I think they're going to be off brands as well, but I think one of them might actually be a JM Bricklayer. Let's see. I love all the mirror gold on that one. They should be selling the bricks separately too. It's slightly taller than Vinder's Tower. Yes. Okay. So slightly taller. It's a good ways taller. And the Yumko also has the Fantastic Four building, and I believe that one is also a fairly large build as well. That's all the Marvel stuff that they've been putting out have been amazing. I actually signed up for a contest. I signed up for all the contests just because I know I can't afford half the sets that they're coming out with, but I signed up for one of the contests, and I believe it was Yumko, but it's the Peter Parker apartment, and that was one that I signed up for to see if I could win. Hey Dream Layer, how are you? Brick Guy, how are you doing? So I did a thing earlier, and I haven't gone as far as like I haven't done too much more on the site. Here, I'm gonna fix this real quick. So I came across it was a, and I might post it on my page later, so that way you can all can see it. But there's a brand new social app for brick builders, and apparently you can take your Lego stuff, move it over, and kind of have like share build techniques, things like that. But it's meant for like AFOLs to be able to be in contact with other AFOLs and really like kind of figure out like build techniques and share love of building, things like that. So what I'll do is, and I'll try to remind myself after I'm done today, I'll get on and make a post about it. I'm good. I'm frozen in right now. So it's something my friend Pudgy Bear and I were talking about earlier, is that it looks like we're still going to be out for quite a while. But yeah, we are. I'm snowed, not snowed in. Snow is not the right thing. I can scoop snow. We are iced in. So my wheels are still ice chucked down to the ground. And so I have a feeling I'll be here another day. So I was like, I got to get to the spa cabin then. The Lumabricks one. Oh, I want that set so bad. Well, I was, I could say I was on a budget. Okay, I should be on a budget. Let me rephrase that. I am technically on a budget, but I decided to take some of my money and buy some track and some things from kind of some off-brand sites, and so I didn't get another Lumi set. Instead, it was like a little train that is a USB powered train system that's all brick laid that I'm waiting on. And I got some extra tracks for like cars to pass over. So I ordered that. And then I decided in my infinite wisdom to I gotta look at something. I'm off somewhere. I found it. Yeah, unfortunately this doesn't do an over the top that makes it easy for the build. But I did get this absolute, and I cannot wait. This train is gonna be cool. So I think it'll pair up nicely with the parking garage, which I loved the parking garage. That's such a cool build. But I have a feeling that this thing is going to pair up quite nicely with the parking garage, and it's going to make me want to start like really figuring out like if I want to keep my Old West stuff down once I build the table out there, or if I want to start building the city out there. And so I'm trying to decide like what do I want to do, how do I want to go about building this, and how much trouble am I going to be in when I put that city out there in the living room, our living space. How much trouble will I be in? If you don't hear from me from a couple days, you'll know I got the severe talking to. Okay, so here we go. Now I think I finally have this. This particular part of the build has been nerve-wracking. And I would say that because of the fact that their pattern making here is just very precise and doesn't make like the most sense. Here, let me get that one on here. And I might be taking an eye break here in a minute. Yeah, see, like I'm trying to put tiles upside down right now. And that one's going to go right here. Obviously, I've got some tiles that are the wrong colors in the wrong spot, but I'm not concerned about that right now. I should build it how it is, but I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat. It doesn't have to be the same. Scottix, what's up, brother? What up, brother? Uh, okay. Hey, oh my goodness. I have decided. I was going through some old stuff and I found my old Make It Bricks ambulance, and I'm actually I think I'm gonna rip this apart and make it a flying ambulance, kind of a flying machine. And then I've got like some more on my mock up there I'd like to do and just kind of change up, and I've got some things I'd like to build and get together. So, Brick Guy, did you get the spa? Because I mean, the spa looks amazing. Like I love the what was it? The frosted bricks that they did for all of the fogged up windows. There's like a sauna. For those who've not seen, so Lumenbricks has they've got a sauna slash like hothouse cabin sort of thing, and this thing it's gorgeous. It's downright, it's a beautiful set. And one of the things that they put out on it is they've got this sauna area that's got these windows, and they have frosting that's been like printed onto the windows. So as you put it up, you can see through it slightly, but then it's also kind of like frosted up, and it looks amazing. It's such a cool sort of like build. Like as far as the printing on it, it was such a cool idea for them to do that, and it's like I love that look. Um, but yeah, it's right now budget wise. I was like I didn't get it, and I haven't been getting quite as many of the Lumi sets as I've wanted. I'm also waiting on some more of the Cyberpunk, but I'm waiting on some of the sets to kind of, I guess, either go down in price, but also I'm waiting on some of the smaller sets, because there's a point when I get sets that are too big, sometimes I have nowhere to put them, and that's a tough part for me, because it's like, if I don't have a place to put these sets, it's like, where would I go? Like, what would I do? So I'm trying to figure that part out. Okay, so it looks like, again, is that in the right spot? I'm gonna press this right here. I guess that goes there. I had to look at it at an angle, and it seems like that's right. This would go up here, and the bottle would go here. There's a portion of this I have a feeling I'm gonna have to change up. What's one goal you have this year in your content? In my content, oh my goodness. I should be more goal oriented. I would say at this point, like, I would I would like to do more content about my mocks, and probably start shifting a little bit away from reviews. Maybe posting more about specific builds. Looking at I'd like to continue doing reviews, because a lot of the thing is I enjoy doing content where I've got the reviews. Like, I'll find something for cheap, and then I'm able to say, okay, hey, this thing is well worth picking up because it is this price. It's really cheap. Blah blah. Get it now, sort of thing. I want to be able to continue doing that, but I think content wise, I'd like to shift a little bit more to how Digging for Bricks are doing things, where I have more where I'm actually showing techniques of building specific things. And I think that's kind of where this year, that's kind of one of those shifts I would like to start making, is having more content about the particular build techniques and ideas that kind of inspire other builders to start kind of creating on their own. Because I'm all about, you know, us having, you know, specific things and us creating, you know, I've done something wrong, haven't I? Yes, I have. About us creating, you know, certain creations that are book based, but also like I also still love the idea of what we're doing with brick building, that we can change it up however we want. So I think for me, I'd like to start shifting in an area where I could show people some more like just interesting ideas, cool ways to build chairs, cool way to build a table, cool way not to lose your mind when you're trying to press a brick in and you got pieces flying up because you found out that you're one stud off. Which is ongoing here. Yeah, these little bricks are something else. Oof. And I know you did a micro set recently. I applaud you, my friend. This is not easy at all. Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. For those that are like, micro bricks, that's an easy thing. Oh, there's something else, alright. And I gotta tell you, my big fat fingers here are not helping the situation. Hey, what's up? Hi, Unc. Yep. I'm old, man. What'd you expect? Did you think I was gonna get young while I was away? They do look really good. Here's the thing, like looking at it, this thing looks amazing. But yeah, it's definitely trying my patience more than anything else. And I'm excited that I got it. I'm not gonna lie. That should go here. Okay. So I guess this goes over. This goes over. This would go. I'm gonna do this. Give me 1 second, everybody. This is okay. Yeah, as we're getting parts in, and this is something where it's like I almost feel like I need to be bringing a pair of pliers in here to to get things where they need to go. I'm moving things over because I'm noticing I'm off on studs. And these are not the easiest things to get up. There goes the mushroom again. Ooh. You have a feeling after this particular bag, there goes the barrel. Oh, I guess that's going to be sitting there from here on out. Boom. Oh, man. I will say that both microsets I've done, there is at least one part that doesn't fit right. Well, interestingly, I think everything seems like it would fit correctly. The problem I'm having is more like the counts to get everything to fit doesn't seem like it wants to fit correctly. Like it's off. And I know that we have some piers and some other things that are going to be going in here. So it's definitely one of those where like I don't want to miss it and have to go back and rebuild huge swaths of sections because they're not in the right areas. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to avoid is, hey, can I get my counts done right this time? So that way when it comes time for me to kind of put the piers in, I do have that room and I'm not struggling on figuring out where things are going to go. Because that's been like one of those where it's like, well, how exactly am I going to do this? How exactly? Okay, now, Kobe, just let you know, I haven't forgotten about what you told me. Calling me Unc, you know. Yeah, I mean, just let you know, I hadn't gotten any younger, bro. Every time I sign on, I get a little bit older, a little bit each and every time. Okay. The other thing I would definitely say about this, they don't distinguish colors on certain things. So I guess these are good enough. I could put all of this in here, under here, and in here. Now, it says that I should have, interesting. Okay, so it does show that I have printed boards. What I find interesting is this. It doesn't actually show that I have printed boards here in the directions. It shows it when I'm looking over here at the next set of directions. So I will say, one trick that I have learned over the years with building is if I'm not sure how something goes together, I will go ahead and look at the next level of what we're making. And I go, okay, how does it look after it's done? And sometimes that is the key feature I need to figure out where I need to go. So we got 1, 2. I'm going to go ahead and put the boards in first, because that seems to be the big thing. And they're alternating between darker red, or sorry, it's a burnt sienna and then kind of a taupe, burnt sienna and taupe. And then these darker ones are actually the printed pieces. But there's 2. But we don't find out about that until after we get out of this, looking at this one here. Kind of odd. Very, 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 very odd. Okay. What I find interesting is we've got all these extra pieces here. They've shown us where some of this is. Oh, I see where it's going. Wow, this is, oh man, we got a teeny tiny piece that goes there. We've got one tiny wave piece that goes here, one that's going to go up here. And I would say that if I was going to build this, I would probably cut a lot of this out. It says, one goal I had this year is to get sent a set by any brand. Totally. Now, I was going to ask, are you in, because I know you've done Luma Bricks, and I might need to send you the link, but I would say get signed up in the KOC program. KOC, and you could probably just look it up, Luma Bricks KOC. If not, I believe I might be able to invite you too, so I could always look at that. So if you're not in the KOC program, let me send you a thing, because they usually send you an introductory set to look at, to kind of build as kind of like a, hey, thank you for joining, and etc. Here's a set for you to put together to see the quality of it. So if you are not in that program, definitely hit me up on my DM, let me know, and I'll look, because I believe I might be able to do an invite, and that would allow that door to be open up to get your goal done, because they sent me a set. Now, when I signed up, I was already very avid in a lot of the Luma Brick stuff as it was, so I had a lot of sets. And so, you know, when I signed up and I did the survey and everything, it was asking, you know, what do you have, etc. It's like, at the time, I loved the Old West series. That was something I was very adamant about. Still very adamant about. I have other interests as well, but at the time I was like, I definitely loved the Old West sets. I have these sets already. And they're like, okay. And at the time, they had sent me the Traveling Circus. So that's the one that they sent me. And that was a cool set. Not something I would have bought necessarily on my own. I am glad to have the set. It's definitely a cool piece, but I had other things on my horizon that I'd much rather have. So I think oftentimes they will try to send you something that is newer. So when you do talk about review, that sort of thing, you've got kind of a newer sort of set to share out with the world. Okay, so we've got this one going here. We've got our hi they the counts on this are just downright. This could be aggravating. You're right, though. I mean, the sets look beautiful, but they join that program means I have to post Lumi every week, right? Not necessarily. The closure tomorrow was officially confirmed. It is. Yeah, I got a call, but I'm using my phone, so I obviously didn't get it, but I had a feeling because it was the district number. Had a feeling that's what it was for. Not necessarily. Okay, so I post. Me personally, I post probably. I try to post one a day. It's not required, but it's definitely one of those that it doesn't help. Or no, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase it. It doesn't not help to post every day or every week. And if you've got one set that you really enjoy, like posting every week is nothing in the grand scheme of things. Um, I don't know. I think it's worth it. I've got an affiliate link. I've got I'm able to get into giveaways that aren't open up to the public. There's a lot of extra things. I have direct access to talk to Lucas at Lumabricks. So if there's something going on, or I say, hey, I've got these sets are good ideas, or like I was chatting with them recently. Because uh-oh. I feel like people are crashing out there. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm gonna finish up bag one. I think I'll do it right. The thing that I came across was that I have access to Lumabricks officials and other things that when we're able to make suggestions, or we're like, hey, we want to test some sets, or we want to be able to do this, because I'm in that program and I've already started working with them, it opens up the door for me to be able to do and get access to things that I normally wouldn't have access to. So it's definitely posting once a week for that is definitely worth it. For me, I try to, and I haven't done it this week just because I've been using my phone for so many other things. But I normally, during a normal week, I get in the habit of posting one Lumabricks thing a day, and then usually posting up to 3 times a day. And for a while, I was getting into posting Lumabricks Knock Knocks. That's another one that I was getting sponsorship from and helping out with. Hey, Bama, what's up, brother? You doing good? You staying out of trouble? It looks like I'm gonna be stuck in the house another day, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. I can hear someone messing with my door. It makes me think that they're coming to hassle me here in a minute. This is the absolute smallest little lantern I think I've ever seen. But yeah, it once a week is nothing. That's nothing in the grand scheme of things. I definitely say it's worth it. Like I said, just I emailed Well Played Toys and never got a response. Hopefully one day they reply. I had reached out to Fantasy. I will probably reach out again. I signed up for a program thing, but I never heard back from them. Let me rephrase that. I did get an automated message back, but then it hasn't gone any further than that. I need to kind of like rehash with them, kind of check back in. Hey, just to ask, I was looking at getting set reviewing, sponsoring with you, figuring things out, and just seeing what they say. But reaching out to the companies that's an easy way to do it. My page had a little track since then, so maybe I'll try again. Most definitely. And I will tell you, they are looking at numbers. They are looking at numbers. Because you become viable, the more people you reach, you become a more viable asset. So in that way, yeah, if you had the numbers, what you do, I would definitely try it. Definitely try it. You know, at this point, low budget, you have sent 200 comments to my live. Hey, Stu's Bricks, what's up, brother? All right, so now we are into this next part. How much more do we have? So we only have a little bit more, and then we'll be on bag 2. And I think when we get to bag 2, I think that's when we'll stop. That's the building. So the building portion, because that'll take a while. Bag 2 is all the building. There's some really cool, interesting stuff with building that part. Let's see. I'm looking to see when bag 3 is assigned and all the extras. So yeah, we'll split it up into 3 sessions. We'll do that. So after 1, we'll call it, and then we'll do another session another day. There's nothing wrong with waiting. It can sit on the table for a little bit. And if you're mad about it, I can't help you. Let's see, I've jumped like 25k likes in the last 2 weeks. Pretty cool to see. That's actually really good, especially with the algorithm reset. Oh man, that's actually incredible. Ever since the reset, my numbers have been a lot lower than they normally are. And that's been a bit aggravating, because I was like, wait a second, why? But it's just, that's, at this point, you know, it's trying to learn me. When I was looking at some of the things that they were offering in my search engine, like, tomorrow's the day and NASA has warned you, and I'm like, what? What has NASA warned me of that's happening tomorrow, apparently? So I was like, all right, every day I've gotten on to do a search engine, and I'm trying to get my feed back up to where, instead of getting TikTok dances, which I'm all for TikTok dances, but it's not something that I normally put in my feed, right? So it's not like I'm gonna be like, hey, I gotta see what the newest TikTok trend dance is. Most of the time, it's like, hey, I want to see who's building what. What are my brick building things that are coming up? Who's got the new set? What's this, and this? So I go in every day, and I am like doing my searches to try to get my feedback up to where it goes. Yeah, views are way down. Algorithm is for sure broken. Yeah, it is, and it will be for a little bit. That's the nature of it changing hands right now. Unfortunately, is that it's going to feel off, and that's everyone, especially for what I noticed in the brick building community. Like, there were people that were asking me, they're like, you haven't posted in days. I'm like, I have posted every single day, but it's just not showing up in their feeds. They're having to reach out, or they're having to go to those particular pages and kind of like look at them. And so right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to make a point to do the searches, go to each person's page that I can, and it's hard because, you know, we're sitting at like 1,000 something followers and people that we follow. It's hard to catch up on every single thing, but as much as I can, I'm going and I'm hitting up people's pages so I can like their stuff. I can get the algorithm to get back into working condition where it needs to be, because right now it's a mess. They're sending me stuff that I have absolutely no interest in whatsoever. It feels like day one of having this app. And I know that's not the case because I've been on here for a while. And I know in the KOC program, there's a lot of the builders that are like, well, I'm not gonna use that app anymore. I'm just done with it. And I'm like, well, I mean, don't give up on it just yet. I mean, we can still utilize it. It's just it might not be what you're expecting for a little bit. All right, this is the one piece that's kind of weird. Let me put it on the end of this brick separator. So we do have one stud. It is a 1x1 rounded tile that actually has a push pin on it. That'll be a hard thing to switch up down the way. Let's see. I think my main issue is the amount of data they steal now. Yeah, they're definitely keeping tabs on everyone for sure. At this point, I'm not sure how much I want to talk about that one, but yeah, it's been interesting. The I know that as it was explained, and I tried to find some users that were able to explain it the best sort of way that I could understand it in my very lacked wisdom, was that we the algorithm, the actual AI, has access to all of our stuff now as a learning tool. They can post certain things in a commercial sort of purpose based on our stuff, but we still own our stuff. We just don't get to monetize. The portion of us getting to build, or I'm sorry, the portion of us getting to use the app has now become the paying portion for us getting to use it for free. Is that we still own the rights to our stuff, but it's now available also for them to be able to use anytime that they need it. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it's one of those. It keeps the app free. I can still monetize on it. The biggest thing is that the FCC now has the right to step in and look at things to see about monetization. Anytime that you're sponsoring something that changes the name of the game, to make sure that you are following through with guidelines, FCC guidelines, things like that. And a lot of it, I think, is there to keep tabs on the money-making aspect of it. Because, again, it's much like tobacco from back in the day. It's something that can come naturally. You've got a social app. You can start selling on it and make money on it, make a living at it. But now that you're able to make a living, hey, we got to step in, stop some of these shenanigans, and make sure that we have everything set, so that way we can, if we need the taxes on it, we can do it. I think that's the key thing right there, is that they definitely want to make sure that they're getting their money's worth. That's pretty much all I can say about it at this point. Okay, so we've got, this is kind of interesting. Okay, so I see. Then we got green, yellow, and then we've got our clip, and then we're putting the bar to the end. So we're actually making, that is actually very cool, cute, and very cool. But look, we're making kebabs, and that goes over it's almost like an engine, well, not an engine piece, but like a piece that we'd use for like engine stuff, and that's over a fire. So that's how we're making our little kebabs and fireplace sort of shenanigan. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Yeah, I was thrown off after the whole ordeal with the merger. It's been interesting. I've been trying to, and I definitely wouldn't say I'm as educated as I would like to be on it, because There are things I don't understand and I want to know more about. So I am, anytime that I can get on to try to learn, I'd like to do that. I like to get on, learn, figure it out. Hey, what is this? What's going on? How does it truly affect me? How does it affect my business and what I'm doing? Right? Because that is definitely a concern and a concernable ordeal. Is, will it affect my finances of me getting on here? Granted, I don't really make anything doing block building stuff. My hope is one day I can. But the whole idea is that I want to be able to do it. Does this keep me from meeting my goal and my dream to make it to where this sort of side hustle keeps me from being able to continue doing what I'm doing? So that's the part where I'm kind of looking into how this whole merger changes things for me. That's a lot to say. It was a lot of reach around for what we're doing here, but hopefully that made sense. I don't know. I need to, honestly, I'm gonna admit it. I hate to admit that I am illiterate over everything that's going on, but I do need to, I think in my opinion, I need to know more about it. Especially because right now it's definitely something that does affect me. And so I need to know. Okay. I gotta move real quick. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this one over here and kind of shoot it down. We've got 1, 2. So we're all using sage leaves at this point. So it's almost like this tree is dead. It's kind of wild to think that this tree has been, it is in such a poor shape right now. Poor tree. It is all completely dried up. It doesn't have enough water. All the water it has is just ocean water, and it's in such a bad state, it looks like. All right. We've got this, and then we've got a new part. Now, these parts here, they're going to be specific to this build. It's not like I can find, here, I'll kind of show you here. Not like I'm going to be able to find this plate with a bar on it. This stud with claw. They're very unique to what we're doing. And that's something I'm just kind of keeping an eye on, because I would probably have to change the nature of how some of this build goes in the future. Because it's I don't know, it's odd. It's an odd duck, this one. Alright, so it looks like we are going to be pegging that into that. And then this looks like it's going to peg onto here with the stud up. Interestingly enough, they're not, oh, that's sad. They're not having us peg these down, which seems like that would be more the thing to do. We've already broken one of our claws because these are so tiny at this point. I've got one more. Hopefully they gave me extra. That seems like that would be the thing to do, is to have a few extra. But let's take that off here. Let's see what we got. So we've got, this one goes out this way. This one goes out this way. And then we're putting these leaves onto here. So we got one. So one going out. Two. Very awkward. How they're choosing to do these leaves is very awkward. Very odd, obscured sort of technique. Something I wouldn't, this would not be something I would look at and be like, hey, this is a genius idea. This is exactly what we need, sort of thing. I would, instead I'm looking at it, I'm just baffled. I think I'm baffled by it. Bishop Bricks, how are you? Oh my goodness, hello. It's good seeing you. Do you have any good builds on the table today? Kind of wondering if you got anything worthwhile. I'm working on some micro bricks, and these have definitely been testing my metal and my patience today. I've already broken one teeny tiny of these uber small claws. I have a feeling, hopefully, I don't have the same thing happen again. I'm going to set this one broken one out because I don't want to glue it. You're building the Dark Falcon. Ah! I'm not one to be envious or jealous, but I am a bit jealous. That is one of those sets I definitely would love to get. Let me rephrase that. I'm not jealous in that I am green with envy and I'm just so mad at you. Not at all. I celebrate the fact that you were able to get it. I think that's amazing. But it's definitely one of those builds. It's like, that would be a great build to do. Definitely kind of basking in your glory that you were able to get that. I came across someone had the oh no, did another one break? No, it's just very loose. Oh, that's never a good sign. Alright, let me replace it. These little claws are something else. Someone had another one broke. I'm going to have to find a new way to clip these trees. I found someone who had the Guardians of the Galaxy Milano, and I was like, man, I'd love to get that one because I love the Milano, and I enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy very much. It was one of my faves out of the Marvel run, and so there's a part of me that was like, I'm thinking one day I might try to save up and get that one because that's a good looking build. And I saw that they had that one. Then they also had the one that's the orange ship that they had later on. And kind of like the Dark Falcon, it's a big build. Like, it looks amazing. All right, I'm gonna change this up. I'm already switching what I'm doing because of these claws. I've broken 3 of these teeny tiny claws. I've got pieces all over. No, just 2. Have only broken 2. No, I've broken 2. One doesn't fit. So I'm not too keen on their claw portion. So instead, I'm going to peg my branches up, and I'm really hoping that they're not wanting us to utilize these branches for something else, because that'll just stop the build as is. Rima, how are you? Hopefully you're doing good. I'm hoping everyone's staying warm right now because it's cold out. And it's not been very. It hasn't been very good on my knees here recently, and with my foot and everything on the cold. Every time cold weather rolls around, I end up just kind of like, I end up hurting. I'm in the worst possible pain half the time because of all the breaks and the kind of the silliness of when I was a kid and some of the stupid things I did. I feel it much later. Okay, we're going right here. We're going to post that one together. Right? Yes. Put that one here. I think I figured out kind of what they are doing with these. Interesting sort of build technique on this particular run of leaves. I could definitely see me utilizing something similar down the way, but like I said, as far as like having them studded onto that weird little thing, I can't do it. Cannot do it. Okay, to 38. We're now on 39. 1 and 2, and then looks like we're going to be pegging some leaves on the side. Hopefully this doesn't utilize those claws, because the claws are just not very good. They're not good at all. Brick Trucker, you back? So this, you were saying that you had gotten a duvet, was it? It was a throw, Lego throw. How big is it? All right, we're gonna set that into there. I'm gonna turn these just a little bit, kind of like that. Okay, now we're down to our last little bits here. We've got another one of these. One of each color of these leaves. And I gotta tell you, these two leaves, it's hard to tell on camera, but they are so close. It's not good. 57 by 49 inches, something like that. So big, really big. Really, really big. Do you have a picture of it that you posted already? Because I want to see it. Kind of wonder if it's. I kind of wonder what all's on it. I'm always interested in really good blankets and things like that. Let's see. Put this in here. We've got blankets and stuff. No, all right. We've got blankets and stuff here at the house that we use, but it's just I don't have any. Oh, absolutely the worst possible. So hold on, guys. So there is a. Oh, that's not good. Okay. So, oh, that's not good. All right. So you know how Lego has the issue with the here, I'm just going to peg that on top. You know how Lego has issues with the brown for their plastic and how brittle it becomes? This has some of the same sort of issue. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these little clamp pieces off, and we are going to cheat the system here. Get off there. We're going to cheat the system. We're not going to use these little pegs or the pegs, the little claw things that they have. Instead, we're going to turn our leaves slightly out one way, another, and we're going to do it that way because otherwise we've already broken 3 of those little claws. None of them are any good. Absolutely the worst little building piece I think I've ever seen. It's one of those where whoever was at the design board right now, they are a victim of flogging Molly because it is just, it's not good. It's very, very not good. The actual pieces do not hold. They do not hold at all, and every single one, with the exception of one of them, have all broken. So, like I said, we're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to find a new way to peg our leaves on, but we're going to do it kind of in a different angle. And I understand they do it in a way that it's like, hey, we can cause it to turn and move this way and that, but it doesn't work. There are other techniques that are so much better for building plants than what they've given us right now. And actually, that might be something, maybe that's something I'll do today, is actually show some different techniques on how to build plants and trees. I'm not the biggest fan of this one. Not of the set, but of the tree, I'm not the biggest fan. Okay. So we do have a leaf. We have another one of our 1x1 round plates with leaves. They got another rocker. Oh, goodness gracious, no. I'm going to skip the rocker. I'm going to go ahead and go to the stud. And that is what kind of stud is that? I guess it's a brown. And then we have a little, I call them the tooth. They're a little horn, a 1x-peggable horn. And we're going to see, they have a whole bunch of stuff on the roof of this tree. We're going to kind of mimic some of it. We're going to see what we can get away with. We're going to put that here. We've got a stud and a leaf. And then, oh man. Oh. So I found that, and while I was there, I actually found this. I'd been missing that. So that'll go up there. All right. So we've got this plant that's going to peg in there. I love it when I reach down there to recover a missing part, and I find that, hey, you've got other pieces down here that you have been missing. Time to pick them up, Tay. Get them off the floor, please. All right. So we're going to take these. We're going to peg this down. We're going to peg this leaf down. And this could, in theory, just snap to there. But you know what? I'm guessing these might be leftover. No, they're not leftover. I'm not sure what's going on with them. I'm just going to peg this right here to this. Instead of utilizing their little stud thing that has worked not so well for me. Push that down, push that over. And then we'll press that in. So this is how we're making our tree. It's a little odd. It's not very good. Kind of. So we're currently kind of frozen in. So we are not able to get out. So they have us out of school right now. Okay. I did something else wrong. So we're out of school actually by necessity more than anything else, because kids aren't able to get to school. So they told us that they said, stay at home. We don't want you around anyways. JK. They didn't say it like that, but it was definitely one of those where it's like, yeah, not really going anywhere. So I figured I'd get on and do some live, do some build. And I'm building this uber micro set. It's been interesting and aggravating at the same time, if you can believe that. I dig it and dislike it all at the same time. Oh man. Alright, so I'm going to press that down here. Okay. And did I get everything right the way it's supposed to be? Looks like it. I'm going to press some of this down, make sure clutch power is in. Every time I touch something, I feel like something's shooting off and hitting me. Okay, so I'm going to show right up here for this one. My kids go back tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah, we're still, I believe they called it. I believe we're still out for another. I mean, it makes sense. We were trying to clear out our walkway, and we have about 8 or 9, like on my walkway, it's about 9 inches of ice. And so, like, I only got about 4 foot in on the sidewalk before I had to thaw out the scraper and go back and do it again because it was freezing and it wouldn't scrape anymore. So this is where we're at on our build. That's where we're at on our build. Obviously the tree changed because it's not working, but there's some interesting stuff here. Like this portion with the bottles is nice. Some of this, how they did the kebabs is really cool. There's some stuff here. I like how they did the tiki torch. There's some stuff that I do absolutely like, but there are some things I would really, if I was doing this in regular size, I would change quite a bit of that up, especially their build technique with the little brown tabs. And I say that because look, I mean, at this point I gotta hold it. They're super small as they are, but we have 3 of these that are all broken. We don't have a lot of extra, so it's like one of those. It's like, why are we dealing with this sort of piece when it doesn't necessarily match and or fit with what we're doing. I do have extra leaves over here. I might put some extra leaves on this tree. Snap them down, see how things go. There we go. I might I might alter it just a little bit to get some things kind of fitted where I want them to go. But that leads us up. At this point, we're on bag 2. Now, if I followed the directions correctly, I should have everything I need but I have a lot of extra parts left over, like grossly a large number of parts left over, and I'm wondering if that's because the parts easily are lost, and so they add way too many extras, or if I miss some things. I wouldn't be surprised on either one, to be quite honest. So that's all I got to say about that. All right, well, I'm going to stop there today. If I can, maybe I'll come back tomorrow, same time, and maybe we'll work on bag 2, see how that works out for us, because it looks like I'll be here yet again. So if that's the case, I'll be seeing you then, all right? All right, everybody, I'm going to be heading out. I thank you all for showing up. I thank you all for the gifts and the comments and checking us out. I'll be back probably tomorrow for sure. If not Saturday, we'll be picking right back up where we're at. So we'll kind of play it by ear to see what's going on. Hey, thank you all for hanging out. I'll see you all later, okay? All right. So we've got that one here. We've got that part done. I'm finishing up the live here. So it's been interesting. I'm looking to see. It looks like I missed a message, guys. I am so bad about that. Oh my goodness. No, yeah, I'm not even gonna say his thing. Up there, not roasting me, but definitely trying to spam me. So I'm not even gonna pay attention to that. Hey, I thank you all for those who did show up to come watch the stream. I thank you all for that. I appreciate that. It's midweek. It seems like one of those things. It's like you don't have to be here, but I do thank you for it for sure. Um, that's all I gotta say. Hey, I'll see you all next time. We'll come back and we'll work on this a little bit more. This has been an interesting build, but I will tell you, micro bricks are downright aggravating. They are aggravating. So that's all I got for today. Hey, I love you all. Jesus loves you more. There's nothing you can do about it. Good luck with the build, and happy brick hunting.